Hello, what is up? This is your buddy, Alert Wolf here to bring you another manga review, this time of Green Blood, Chapter 22, called Responsibility. Now this one takes place pretty much right where the last one leaves off. Brad is holding Luke, who had the crap beat out of him, and Gene goes to get his son Kip, the Joker. Now, who's unconscious and bleeding out and all that from his fight with Brad. Now, it's interesting. Basically, Gene warns Brad to get the hell out of Dodge. He's like, they're going to be hunting us down now. Basically, because the gang has been defeated, and because they spilled so much blood that now the higher-ups probably have to do something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a huge battle. There's no way this is going to go unanswered. So, he's like, before you're 6 feet under, get the hell out of here. And there you go. And I like that. That shows that he still slightly gives a fuck. He goes back to the bar, his home base, only to find Big Ed Stud, killed what little men he had left that were at the bar. He's like, yeah, came collecting for that bill. Your son owes me for the Gatling gun. And these guys seem to have a problem with it. So I kind of, they had it coming, basically. And, Gene is pissed at Ed, obviously. Basically, he's like, this is all your fault. My gang is done now because of you. So he's like, he puts a gun to his head as Ed goes to walk away. Gene puts a gun to the back of his head. He's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And he had his other gun trained on Kip, who was lying on the couch unconscious. The other thing is, he also said when Kip wakes up, tell him that, pleasure doing business and all that crap. But yeah, so we get another standoff between these two. And I absolutely love the interaction between these two stoic dudes, and because no one, what it is, their stature and the way they're drawn in this manga, it's like nobody's really at their OG status level, you know what I mean, and they're drawn that way. And basically, they talk about, what's going on and why Gene's mad, and he's like, I always thought when you abandoned us that one day I'd be the one to kill you, and you'd have some measly, crappy death, and it would, or a measly end, but I'd be the one to do it, but you know what? Now I realize it's not me. And when he pulled back on the gun, Ed put the gun to his head. Quick move. He goes, let me guess. Yeah, it's your son. And with no hesitation or fear, because he put a gun to his head when he said it wouldn't be me that would kill you and give you your release. He put a gun to his head, and he's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, yeah, it'd be your son. He goes, yeah, you really think your dog has enough teeth to bite me? And he's like, basically, he's like, but I love it, If any of you guys want me to play with you some more, I'm always open to that. And, he's like, I'm fine with it. Cool, you could always come after me. And that's pretty much the end of that half of the manga. Then we get caught up to what happened to Brad and Luke. They're at a physician's office. I think a Dr. Baker, H. Baker, maybe like a Herschel or something, I don't know. And they're there with this chick, and she's worried about them, and they're bandaged and bruised and battered and bleeding, and he's like, these guys have tremendous stamina, they're going to be alright. And they're laying in the bed, all bandaged up. And then they start to talk, and, Brad apologizes to his brother for basically not telling him about anything, and for doing what he did even though he knew it was wrong, and you know, but you're gonna have a great life without me. It's like, no, fuck that. Who's gonna take care of you when you can't do that? And he's like, stop acting like you're so big, you're barely right. It's just a good back and forth. Basically, the younger brother is just not abandoning, letting him know, I'm not going to abandon you jerk. And she, of course, loves that these two are fighting and have the energy to fight, and they're being brothers again, and that Luke managed, and then there's this panel, and it's a whole page, and it's just of outside. It looks awesome. It basically says with little words, Luke had managed to turn the Grim Reaper back into Brad. And that, because that's who he is. He's his conscience. He's his Jiminy Cricket. You know what I mean? He's his heart. And he managed to snap him back from being a monster. And then the last part of this chapter has to do with the police. And they've been looking for any excuse. The body count's 150. They found a Gatling gun. They've been looking. The higher-ups have been looking for any excuse to make an example out of 5 points. And they're like, well, we're just gonna have to throw him a bone. And you see in the last panel of this chapter, you see the last 2 panels. You see one is a noose, and when you look down, there is Gene. And that is the end of the chapter in the dark, like he's in a paddy wagon or something, or he's in a cell, and they got him, and they're gonna kill him. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I hope he doesn't die like this. This would be a shame, an absolute shame. But it's who's gonna save him? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna save him unless he saves himself? Because Brad is done up. He can't save him, so I can't. I'm gonna do the next review. I was gonna say I can't wait till next week, but there's one more chapter after this that's out, so I'm gonna do the next one. But what do I rate this for? This is a wrap-up chapter, basically. And for a wrap-up chapter, this was really good. We got a lot of story. A lot of dialogue. It never felt slow. The stuff between Edward and Gene is priceless. But on the contrary, Brad and Luke arguing and being brothers again was pretty good. And the surprise and the twist at the end that they're gonna execute Gene. So everything it was pretty good. I'm gonna give this one a 3.5 out of 5. As far as wrap-up goes, this is one of the better ones I've seen, and I'm really enjoying the series. And the next chapter I'm doing is obviously chapter 23, and it's called Final Moment. Well, if that's not ominous, I guess Gene don't make it, but I could be wrong. But worrying about if Gene's gonna make it, man, ominous enough. Final Moment. So. We'll see. Who knows how he goes down, so we'll see. But anyway, click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is your buddy Alert Wolf signing off.